What's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and there are two scenes that I really want to just get into, and that is that scene between Bronwyn and her mama and Whitney and that Brittany. When I tell y'all the way my mouth was on the floor when I saw that conversation happening between Bronwyn and Muzzy, I'm gonna start calling her Dusty. Dusty Muzzy. Maniac Muzzy. Baby, that lady, I know that lady. Baby, I know, baby. Muzzy. Muzzy is what they call her. Dusty Muzzy. Maniac Muzzy. Messy Muzzy. let's talk. Because I'm not gonna let them ladies work my nerves. I'm not gonna let Muzzy get my nerves worked up today. Yesterday was my birthday. I want to again thank everyone who came out and celebrated with me. I want to thank everyone for the super chats and cash apps. Y'all blessed me. Thank you so much. But even if you are not able to or just didn't want to, I still appreciate all the love, and it was a good time yesterday. I had a good time. Okay, and that's all that matters because it was my birthday. Okay. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into the mess. So Lisa, Whitney, Lisa, girl, the same way Lisa, the same way Lisa was running from that table a couple of weeks ago when Bronwyn had her running. Lisa had this time instead of Lisa running, Whitney was running. This is the thing, right? To be fair, if I was Lisa, out of everybody at this table, the last person who gonna say thing to me is gonna be Miss Whitney Rose. Don't ask me no questions about my business. Don't ask me no questions about no lawsuit pertaining to my business. Don't ask me no questions about no American Express. You worry about those necklaces that was turning the boys and girls' necks green. Okay? Worry about the fact that they say you was out here, girl, buying those necklaces for $1.99 and selling them for $99.99. Okay? Worry about that. So I'm not mad at whatever smoke Lisa got for Whitney because we already know that Lisa and Whitney it's like they're like a Candace and Ashley. Is one of those situations. So, this is one of those scenarios where Lisa has the upper hand because you really can't say or ask me anything about my business. Nothing. Nothing. Um Lisa and Angie get into it. Angie was getting Lisa together. God, I don't know nobody say. Angie, one of those white women who will look quick on her feet. She'll look quick on her feet. Okay. Lisa basically starts telling Angie that she has one and a half franchises. She said that's not. I think she owns. She. I think she said she owns one and a half of her salons, and she said that's not true. She owns two, and I think she said seven. She has seven franchises. I can't remember what she said. She said, "Let me help you count my cash. You do French fries, I do franchise." And then Mary didn't hear what she said, and so Mary was asking Heather because it was Heather, Mary, I think it was. I forgot the seating arrangement, but Heather was sitting beside Mary. So Mary was like, "What did she say?" And Heather was like, "She said you do French fries, I do franchise." And then Mary said, "Ooh, that was good." That was so funny. Um, and so then they got into it about Lisa has I think a hair deal with what is that what is it called? Remember last year she Angie gave Meredith a bottle of conditioner and shampoo. I had never heard of it before, and I was like, "Girl, you could come in here giving that girl a bottle of shampoo conditioner," and y'all were like, "Baby, that shampoo conditioner is expensive as hell, and it's like $100, I think, or $50 on sale. It's a Kerastase, I believe. I think that's the brand name. But anyways, it's expensive though. Um, but anyway, so I think Lisa has like a deal with them. I remember seeing her in a hair commercial with somebody. I feel like that's who it was. I don't know if she has a deal with French fries. French fries. I don't know if she has a deal with some type of burger place. I don't know. We know that Lisa is very much a drive-through type of girl. Can I say something? I do not want to sound mean. This is just something that I noticed. Whoever did Lisa's, I don't think Lisa got a full on facelift. I think I remember her. I think it was in one of the trailer. I think she has, they put the thread in your face, like what is it like, girl? A lunchtime facelift. I don't know what they call them, girl. But when they played the clip of Lisa at the reunion last year. All I'm gonna say is this, girl. I'm still working on my skin. I don't have the best skin. But when I tell you Lisa looks like all she drinks is soda, not now. Lisa looks fab now. But if you go back and look at that clip from when they showed at the reunion, I said, "Ooh, baby, Lisa, I see why you got that lunchtime facelift." Okay. Anyways, girl, you just should have drunk some. You need to start drinking some water and leave them big gulps alone, girl. No, I'm not the biggest water drinker, but I try to drink a bottle or two every day. Okay, girl, you wake up, you girl sipping on a big gulp, girl, girl got a big gulp in the restroom, girl, you got a big gulp in your car. Anyway, shout out to Lisa though. And then Angie basically starts to go in on Lisa for basically having a hair deal, but letting her son's, I guess, hair care line, what is it called, Fox Wolf, go basically to the wayside. Um, I mean, it's different. I like, that's a men's line. Lisa, I guess it's more. I guess the company that she's with, what is it called? Kerastase. I guess, is that more associated with women, or is it like a Suave where anybody? Well, I mean, anybody can use shampoo and conditioner, but I don't know. I don't know what the Suns line consists of. I don't know. But I think it's more geared towards men though. Anyways, and so Lisa, I mean Angie basically says that, girl, she says that the company is a C line and at best it deserves to be in Walmart. Girl, where? Girl. Now this is the thing. I will say this much. This is when we start to go down that slippery path of talking about the kids. Angie was not necessarily talking about the kids, but you were talking about the kids, but you were not talking about the kids, but you were talking about something that's very, very sensitive that had to do with the kids. You know what I'm saying? Girl, you just basically said, girl, even if it was the truth, there is a C-line hair care product and it deserves to be on the shelves at Walmart. It's not luxury. But I could have swore Angie also said she invested in the company. Didn't Angie say that? Maybe I thought I heard. And I watched the episode twice. I could have sworn I heard Angie say she invested in the company. I was like, that sounds dumb as hell for you to be saying about a company you invested in. But I guess you also have to tell the truth about, girl, even if it is your investment. I don't know, girl. Anyway, so Heather, of course, gives one of her Heather speeches. She gives a monologue. Heather is good for a speech. That's one thing Mama is good for, is a speech. The only thing that Heather pisses me off. Can I say something? I'm not gonna tug on Heather's wig too much today. Heather, why you sitting here trying to get Lisa and Angie together about how they go so low? I want you to address Lisa and what she told you at that dinner table. Because last week you said out of your own mouth that when Lisa decided not to come on the group trip, that Bronwyn was stating facts. That's what Heather said. Go back and watch the episode. Bronwyn was stating facts. You were not there to clear it up. And I feel like that was Heather's way of trying to get her lick back at Lisa for saying what she said at that dinner when she basically said that my life is different than y'all's. Girl, y'all hoes is po. Okay, bitch. I do yachts and courtside. Okay. Um, but I want Heather to address how she. I want Heather to really address Lisa and how she feels. I do. But you so worried about Lisa and Angie. Lisa and Angie gonna be all right. I want to see you tell Lisa about herself. Anyways, again, she just basically tells them that they go low with each other. You go low, you go lower, and basically y'all need to stop. Lisa starts to talk about how she sometimes it may not look as though she's being vulnerable or she has a hard time being vulnerable with the group. And then she starts to cry. And she basically just, kind of goes around the room to certain people. She, talked to Heather and said she appreciated Heather. She said with Angie, it hurts the most because her and Angie are actually friends, which that actually does make sense. Like, girl, I'm going to be more hurt if my friend did something to me versus versus a bitch I don't too much. Like, I don't even know her. It's gonna hurt more coming from a friend. You know what I'm saying? So even if it's not the truth, that's what Lisa's truth is. That she's hurt by Angie because she looks at Angie more as a friend, and the stuff that she says it hurts more. And then she addressed Bronwyn. Bitch, when I tell you, and hey, bitch, when Lisa was talking. And they panned to Whitney's face. Whitney was sitting there like this. Bitch, Whitney was not buying nothing Lisa was saying. You know what I mean? Whitney sat there looking at that bitch like, like I don't think she addressed Whitney though. I don't. At least they didn't show it. I know they were. I remember her addressing Heather, Angie, and Bronwyn. Yeah, but whatever she was saying, Whitney was not buying it. Anyways, so um Bronwyn and Lisa meet up to have a one-on-one. Lisa's, I guess, bar or club, I don't know what that is, lounge. Um, it's been open. I think that's Vita Lounge. I think she said it was open since June of last year. So I guess it's fairly new. Because I didn't remember her ever talking about that in seasons past. Anyways, and they just talk about stuff. They almost started to go back down the wrong road, girl. I said, girl, they about to start arguing again. And so they kind of got back on track. And they basically just agreed. Brahma was basically saying, you called me a whore, which, she didn't call her a whore, but that's pretty much what girl, Brahma was right. She didn't use that language, but you pretty much said that she gives her husband blowjobs in exchange for money. Yeah, I give him blowjobs to pay my bills. Which, okay, it's just her husband. Bitch, a lot of bitches sucking dick, girl, to make sure their husband, girl, keep paying the bills. That's all I'm saying. Brahman ain't the only one, girl, and it is what it is. Anyways, um, but yeah, so anyway, they almost started going down the wrong road. Then they kind of got back on track, and they just agreed, not to mention the husbands, not to mention the kids, even though Bronwyn says I've never talked about your kids. And then Bronwyn also admits, which I think this is great, that she can be rigid. I think she said this in the confessional, that she can be rigid at times, and she likes to control how people feel about her. Basically, she wants everybody to like her. That's pretty much what that means. And she's trying to work on that because basically it reminds her of her goddamn mama. And she ain't trying to be like her mama, basically. And then Mary and her cousin Joe, they go to her church. They've been closed, so I guess they're about to reopen. And he takes a long time to do construction, uh, upgrades to the church. Girl, when I tell you, girl, you gotta fire your family sometimes. Bitch, they walking through the church, girl, it's still nails, literally nails in the seats. Mary. Not because Mary did it, but Mary, you need to fire that man. Girl, somebody would have sat down and got poked in the back. Now I know that it wasn't probably the opposite way, but still, it's a nail sticking out, even if it's the head of the nail. Like, girl, what is we doing? She said it took him a year just to do hardwood floors on the upstairs. I said, oh girl. Sometimes you can't hire family, girl. I thought it was weird as fuck. He kept saying, ma'am. Like, yes, ma'am. This is Mary's cousin who looks like he might be older than her, or they're probably around the same age. He's referring to her as yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. I thought that was weird as hell. And then Mary lets us know that her mother died. I don't think I knew that. I don't keep up with any of them outside the show, but I don't remember seeing it on the blogs. Maybe the blogs didn't know. I don't know. But yeah, her mother passed away I think she said a few months prior. And, things were not the best with her mother. They were not, I don't think they were talking at all. And she said that it just kind of was like a chapter that was closed. I said, damn. It's kind of sad. It's kind of sad. Because I think that for some people, like they do want closure. Or at least, I mean, yeah, I think some people just want closure. Like, or at least a conversation maybe to see if we can get back on track. I don't know. But yeah, she did. I mean, I was about to say she did. That sounded so insensitive. She died like a few months prior. And I don't think they ever really talked since the last time they stopped talking. Um, I like the way she said that she's no longer here on this earth. I thought that was, I think, I want to start, I'm going to start saying that. Because sometimes when you just say, like, you know what I hate? Like, I don't know why, I don't hate it. I think I do hate it. Like when I see the blogs or like TMZ or anybody report, I'm just gonna make up a name. Who can I make up somebody who's dead? Like I'll just say Whitney Houston. They'll say Whitney Houston dead at 54. And I think that sounds so like in your face. Like, damn. Like who? And so I can think of somebody famous. Whitney Houston dead, 54. So and so dead. Like, damn. Like, it sounds so harsh. I mean, it's the truth. Like, but I like more so like she's no longer here on this earth. Transition sounds nice. Anyways, so Angie and Heather. I don't think Heather has her license. Not Heather. Angie. I don't think Angie has her license. I think it expired, and I think she's trying to get it back. Anyways, so she's basically working on Heather's head. I think she just owns salons now. But anyway, so she's working on Heather's head, and so she tells Heather stops by as like a test dummy, basically, because she said she had been working on mannequins. Excuse me. And so Angie tells Heather that Bronwyn's not Bronwyn. I'm trying to get to Bronwyn and that goddamn mama of hers. I told y'all about that lady. I knew that lady was gonna have me worked. Relax, 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 relax. Okay, so Angie tells Heather that Lisa sent her assistant over to basically get all of the products for her son's line, and she also sent her Vimo, is it Vimo, Azelle, Vimo, whatever, girl, cash out for $600, and told her basically, this is for the items. And then Angie felt some type of way, and I was like, I thought that Angie and Lisa left off on a good foot, and that's what Angie was saying too. So Angie was like, I was kind of confused because I thought that we were good. I thought that we left on, like basically, girl, we good. Well, clearly they not. Sorry, clearly they're not. So Angie said she sent back a text message and basically told her that you should use that $600 to pay the people that say you owe them that you owe them some cash. Angie said she told Lisa, I don't need your $600. You can take that $600 and pay it to those people who you owe. Bitch, I know that's right. Um oh, she said because I think Lisa also said that she can use it to clean her salon. And she was like, my salon is not dusty, but your products are. They've been sitting on our counter for 2 years. Angie be getting Lisa together. Angie be getting Lisa together. Okay. Anyways, they started talking about Lisa, and of course, Heather says that was mean. Then she says they were talking about Lisa saying that they were jealous of her hair, or her hair is shiny, and she was like, "Your hair is dyed bowling ball black." I don't know why I thought that was so funny when she said it. She said that Lisa's hair is dyed. I've heard of jet black, but I just thought it was funny that she said your hair is dyed, girl, bowling ball black. And that was pretty much the end of it. Baby, let me tell y'all about that Brittany. So Brittany and Whitney, they go out. I think they go like to a flower shop. I don't know, girl. Plant place. When I tell you that Brittany is trash, I be trying to give the girls, y'all know me. Well, some of y'all may not. But y'all know as far as my channel, from what we've discussed, I really try and give people some understanding. I try to leave space for grace. Sometimes I try to leave space for understanding because you can't necessarily help the way that you were raised, but at some point in life, you have to start. I remember when I went to college, I had a professor named Dr. Johnny Williams, bald-headed black lady. Baby, she was, when I said Dr. Jenny Williams used to cause havoc in the Jesse H. Jones School of Business, I swear to God, I think she's still there. Girl, when I tell you she did not play, but I used to love this lady just because she had like a no-nonsense attitude. And I really do believe that people felt like she was hard because she was a woman. But I took her class and everything. I used to go up for Dr. Johnny Williams. And plus she was fly as hell too. I think she had, what is it called? Is it called alopecia? What is it called? When your hair is thin? Is it called alopecia? Is that the skin? Let me see, alopecia. I think it's the yes, alopecia. Okay. I think she had alopecia because her hair, like she was like pretty much bald. She had little like she had like a fade, but her hair was very, very, very like you could see her scalp. But clearly I mean, I'm not gonna say it didn't bother her, but clearly she was comfortable enough because she would come to school just with her hair like what it was. But she was so fucking proud of me. She could dress her ass off. But I remember she was the first person who I remember saying that if y'all are walking around here, and I'm paraphrasing, but she said, if y'all are walking around here at y'all big ass ages and y'all don't question the things that your parents told you, or if you don't question people, there's a problem. And just because you question somebody does not mean that it's necessarily a sign of disrespect. You should want to know. It's okay to ask questions. So all I'm saying, I'm telling that story to say, I get that we all grow up and we are raised to believe certain stuff, to think a certain way, but at some point in life, you have to start questioning some things. And Brittany is too fucking old to still be running around here thinking that a man should come before her children. I think that Brittany is whack as fuck. I tried to give her a pass last year, like, okay, girl, this is how they were raised. Girl, they were told basically like you can't get into heaven without a man. Like I think Brittany said something like you can get into heaven without kids, but you can't get into heaven without a man. It was some crazy shit like that. But at some point, when do we start to say, bitch, if you don't snap out of it? She tells Whitney that she thinks her daughter wants to see her be more consistent with not choosing a man over her. But it's hard because her and Jared are in a good space. Jared, the one who she breaks up, gets back, breaks up, makes up, breaks up, makes up, breaks up, make up. Girl, they're engaged. They call out the engagement. And Whitney looked at her like, bitch, what? Whitney literally grabbed her by her shoulders and said, girl, what are you talking about? I'm with Brit. Now, let me tell y'all something. I could see if Brittany's daughter was 50 years old and I would be like, girl, look, your mama probably about to die anytime. Let that lady have some fun with this nigga. You know what I'm saying? But that's not the case. Even if Brittany's daughter is 20, 19, 18, 21, 20, I still feel like that's still young to be putting a man before your child. I do. Because I think a part of the problem was, I think in Brittany's last marriage, I can't remember Brittany's whole story. I don't think that the children liked the man. Oh, girl, I wanted to talk about Super Scent. You know that black lady, the Crayola, the makeup lady? I'll talk about her in Hot Topics, maybe. I don't know. Anyways, because I think she said she posted something on the blog, where the blogs posted her. I think her son is acting out, and he's not listening to her or her husband. But girl, no, no, girl, we'll talk. We're gonna talk about it. We might talk about it on Patreon, girl. Anyways, um, yeah, I think that Brittany already had. I think Brittany was married before, and I don't think the daughter. She has two daughters. They too much care for her ex husband. Like Brittany is trash to me. I think she's whack. Um, Girl, your daughters are still at an age where, we're always gonna need our mother. But girl, like I said, it's not like Brittany's daughters are 50. Girl, it's not like they 60. You know what I'm saying? And they like, oh, I'm mad because my mom is dating this man. Like, Brittany, your daughters are still at an age where you really still need to be a mama. Your daughter ain't 65. You know what I'm saying? Your daughters are not 60. I think one of them, I can't remember their ages. I just think it's whack. I really do. Like, you're too old to still, and then like this back and forth that you have with Jared, like, ugh. Baby. Woo! Bronwyn and her mother. Baby, I gotta grease my lip. I gotta grease my lips up for this one, baby. Girl, hold on, baby. When I tell y'all, I was like, okay, I'm trying to see where she's going with this. At one point, I was with Muzzy, and then she completely lost me, baby. When I say she lost me, girl, I was stuck in the bushes, baby. Girl, I was stuck in the woods, trapped, couldn't get out, baby. I said, what is this lady talking about? So basically, Bronwyn is sitting down with her mother, Muzzy. One, I realized that she doesn't even call her mother mother. She calls her mother Muzzy. I don't think it's necessarily true that just because you don't refer to your mother as mother, mama, mom, mommy, that means you're not close. But I do always find it a little odd when I hear people that don't refer to their mothers or fathers, but I'm just talking about Bronwyn and her mother as mom, mother. Like sometimes, like my mom will refer to her mother as mama. Like sometimes she would be like, "Go ask," because we call my grandmother Nanny. Well, I'm the oldest. I'm the oldest grandchild, so they said I'm the one who started calling her Nanny. So Nanny just stuck. Nanny just stuck. So even like sometimes she would be like, "Go ask your nanny," or "Go ask Nanny," right? But that would be if she was talking to me to go tell me to go ask her. You see what I'm saying? But she still referred to her as Mama. Like if she said Mama, she wouldn't say Maggie or whatever, or Mag or whatever nickname that she might have. She wouldn't say that's Nanny. She would say that's my mama. Or she called her, she would say Mama. You see what I'm trying to say? Anyways, so she refers, I noticed that Bronwyn refers to her mother as Muzzy. So Bronwyn's daughter and her boyfriend, they are supposedly a part of a bowling team, but Bronwyn believes the bowling team doesn't exist. I assume based off of how they were trying to talk in code, Bronwyn and her mother thought that they were trying to basically go off and probably have sex. I don't know because the mother said they don't have enough private time um, on the East Wing. And so then they started talking about how, Bronwyn has allowed the daughter to move her boyfriend in. And, Bronwyn's mother was like, girl, that would have never happened with me. And like I said, I was like, okay, I'm with Bronwyn's mother so far. Um and then Bronwyn's mother says that she's just following your example. Bitch. Now, I don't know what the fuck Bronwyn's mother meant by that, but I took it as though she was trying to say, well, look at you. You had a baby when you were 18. Your daughter may be following suit. Now, can I just say something? It really is no handbook to parenthood. And, in Bronwyn's point is basically I still ended up pregnant at 18. So I guess like her having her boyfriend in a way, living here, it could happen, it could not happen. Like I was away and still got pregnant. Which is true, but I'm not that progressive, baby. I don't give a fuck if I had a child, he was gay, straight, she was gay, straight, pansexual. I don't give a fuck how you identify, girl, your boyfriend, girlfriend, whomever. I don't give a fuck who they're not moving up in here. And that's just what it is. Okay? At all. At all. um, she feels like her style of parenting worked. That's what Muzzy is telling Bronwyn. But again, in Bronwyn's, to Bronwyn's point, like, did it really work? Did this tough love that you have, did it really work? Because I was walking around her fucking and pregnant at 18. And then Bronwyn's mother said that she would have put her head on the chopping block because she just knew that Bronwyn wasn't doing those things. That's how much she believed that Bronwyn was not having sex, drinking, or doing drugs. So again, I can go off to college and get pregnant, or I can let my daughter move in and she might get pregnant. But I just feel like I'm just not letting my daughter move her boyfriend in. I'm just not. I'm not letting my son move his girlfriend in. I'm not letting my daughter move her girlfriend in. I'm not letting my son let him move his boyfriend. I don't give a fuck what the relationship is or who involved. Ain't nobody moving in here. Lost your goddamn mind. Um, but I don't even know if the daughter asked. Bronwyn probably um volunteered because I think she wanted Gwen to stay. I don't know. I don't know how the conversation happened between her and her daughter and how it came about the boyfriend moving in. And then not Gwen, and then Bronwyn told a story about how she was pregnant at the same time that her sisters were pregnant. And she said that She was in Baby Gap with her mother, and her mother was looking for basically clothes, a gift, something for one of the sisters. And the sales associate said, um, like basically congratulations to Bronwyn. And she was like, oh no, 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 it's not for me. And so the sales associate thought, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I thought that you were pregnant. I'm sorry for assuming that you are pregnant. And then Bronwyn was like, no, I actually am pregnant. And she was like, oh. She was like, so is she getting anything for you? And then she said, Muzzy looked at the sales associate and said, no, bitch. It was moments in that conversation that Bronwyn was having with her mother where her mother had this like smirk on her face, like this, like I said what I said, bitch, and I ain't changing. It was very nasty. She said she feels like, based off of her first pregnancy, well, I said first, like she had five, but she feels like, based off of her pregnancy with Gwen, it was so miserable that she never wanted to experience pregnancy again. She kind of blames her people for that. And then her mother said, basically, it's not my fault. Do you know how miserable I was trying to hide it? Bitch. Oh, bitch, girl. Basically, like, they were in church, and the church, I really don't want to just say what I want to say. I'll just say this, and I don't want to be disrespectful to anybody's religion, but I have noticed that sometimes the most evil, mean people use religion to stand in their evilness. And they feel like it justifies them treating people the way that they treat them. So you have Bronwyn, who was pregnant as a teenager, 18. Was she 18, 19? I think she was 18, right? Was she 18? And because they were heavily involved in church, and church is a big part of their life, it was just the biggest embarrassment to ever hit. Right? And so now you've made us miserable because you are pregnant. Please don't misunderstand what I'm saying. If I had a daughter or a son and they told me that they had gotten someone pregnant or that they were pregnant, I would probably lose my shit. Okay? But I don't necessarily see myself, and I don't have kids, so I know it's easier said than done for me because I'm not in that position. And 10 times out of 10, I never will be. As much as as angry as I can see myself getting at my child, I'll just use my nieces for example. If they were pregnant at 18, I would be fucking livid. But I don't see me mistreating my nieces in the name of the motherfuckers at the church. Because while I might be pissed off at my nieces, and we probably didn't have some words, you're not gonna say nothing to them. Then she says that She tells Bronwyn that I was a daycare. And Brahma was like, well, I was working. So basically she would watch Gwen when Brahma would be at work. And then she said, they watched her because they didn't want her to go into foster care. And then Brahma was like, whoa, 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 what are you talking about? When I tell you Brahma's mama is a full-on bitch, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I'm gonna talk real plain. That lady is a bitch, and she stands in being a bitch and being mean, and she uses her religion as a shield. Then she says, well, you never wanted to put her up for adoption. You basically let it be known that you were going to keep her. So why would you even mention foster care, adoption? We know those are two different things, but girl, it's still under the same umbrella to me. Girl, why would you even mention her basically giving her child away if then you backdoor and say that she wasn't going to give her child away? Their adoption was out of the picture. Like, she wasn't going to place her child in any type of temporary or permanent position. Like, I was like, why would she even say that? I was like, girl, she is trying, and that's what I be trying to tell y'all. Girl, some of these mamas get on these TV shows and they try to embarrass their daughters. That is her MO. I believe, this is what I believe. And I'm not changing my mind. I believe that is a part of Bronwyn's mother that is upset that Bronwyn is not living a life of destitute, that she is not indigent, that she is not standing on a corner shaking a can tin, asking for $1 to feed me and my daughter. I think there is a part of Bronwyn's mother that feels a way that Bronwyn found a way, whether it was going Todd's way, fucking this old rich man. I think that she feels a way that Bronwyn found a way to provide for her and her daughter. I think that Bronwyn's mother would love to say, I told you so, for the rest of her life. I told you having a baby at 18 would ruin your life. I told you having this baby would make it hard for you. I told you these things. And that's why you are 40 or 50 or 60 and you're still struggling. But she can't say that to Bronwyn because Bronwyn ain't struggling. Now it might be through marriage, but she's still not struggling. And I think that Bronwyn's mother has a problem with that. Then, when I tell you this lady is a handful, then she says, just because I don't say you're wonderful or amazing doesn't mean that I don't think you are. And I was like, okay, well, at least she's trying to end it on a nice note because this bitch, that's what I'm thinking in my head. Then she says, just basically being careful that you don't think you're so wonderful, that you're too good. I think that is so, I'm about to start crying. Damn. Okay. I think that is so mean. I do. You know what my hope is for people? I know it's easier said than done. I'm not in a situation where my mother is anything like some of these mothers on TV. And I praise God for that. I don't have a relationship with my father at all. So if I got a phone call tomorrow and more than likely it will be from my mama and she said your daddy died, I would say, okay. I won't feel any way about it because I don't know him. We never had a relationship. So it's not like we were close or we had this father-son relationship, we had this bond, and then he just stopped coming around, or we just, you know what I'm saying? It never was like that. So it's like I can't miss something I never had. I know it's harder to end a relationship when you've invested time in it. That's what happens in all types of relationships, whether it's a friendship, a marriage, boyfriend and girlfriend. I know it can be extremely difficult, especially if it's a parent, because at the end of the day, that's your parent. So for some people, it is hard to cut off cut off communication or just cut ties with a person, because this is the person who birthed me, and that's still my mama. But if you are in a situation, especially if you don't depend on your mama or your daddy for a goddamn thing, there is no way that I could be Bronwyn and have my mother sit in front of my face, in front of a camera, and say the stuff that she was saying to that lady. To sit there and tell her, I think you're amazing, just because I don't say that you're amazing or wonderful, don't think that doesn't think that I can't even talk. Just because I don't say that you're wonderful or amazing, that doesn't mean that I don't think you are. But I don't want you to think you're too good. What the fuck? What type of shit is that? And then you throw out there that there's a possibility that I was going to put my daughter into the foster system, knowing damn well that was not the truth. That lady has been nasty since she has got on this TV screen, on my TV screen. I just feel bad for people who feel like they have no choice but to deal with mistreatment from people due to the title that the person holds and the relationship that they're in with the other person. Bronwyn deals with her mother because that's her mother. Even though her mother is a bona fide bitch and mistreats her, she still deals with her mother out of obligation. That's my mother. And there are so many people in this world who feel and think and move the same way like Bronwyn does. It doesn't matter what this lady says to me. She can hurt my feelings and embarrass me in front of all these viewers. That's still my mama. She can say something slick about my husband, even though my husband is the reason why the financial situation is getting taken care of with her and my goddamn daddy quiet as it's kept. Come back in front of this camera the next day, the next episode, and still be talking out the side of her motherfucking mouth to me. And Bronwyn sits there like a child and just takes it. She would have got the fuck up out of my house. And that's just on period. You're not gonna talk to me like that. I'm a grown, grown ass man. Ain't nobody talking to me out the side of their motherfucking neck. Mama, daddy, if my grandmama was still living, hello? My great great grandparents, my sister, my brother in law, my nieces, I don't talk to y'all crazy. Y'all not gonna talk to me crazy. Hello? But to this level, I was so disgusted in that lady. I said, oh girl, she's a handful. And Brahma just kind of sat there and pretty much took it. She wouldn't have talked to me like that at all. You don't need that lady. If anything, she needs you. I don't need you. You need me, and don't you ever fucking forget it. Because if it wasn't for me and my husband, your ass would be outside, probably living under a girl living under Ashley mama's tent. That lady is mean. I feel so bad for Bronwyn. And bitch, I don't even know what the fuck happened after that, bitch, because I was in her hot, bitch. I think Bronwyn, not Bronwyn. Angie, what's the bitch name? I don't know these hoes' names. I don't even know no more. I'm tired of talking. I got pissed off. Angie and I don't even know. I was like, girl, I don't even know. I'm so discombobulated. Angie and Meredith met up, and Angie got on my fucking nerves. Long story short, that I'm gone. Angie basically is telling Meredith that a couple of years ago, I believe, I'm guessing when she joined the show, when her and Lisa were going back and forth, she was basically trying to tell Angie ways to dig up dirt on Meredith. But now, girl, Angie, at this point, bitch, you should have told her this when. Now, basically, it's Mad Day. You mad at Lisa, right? And now I have to get my lick back. So let me go ahead and tell Meredith what Lisa told me 2-3 years ago, girl. And like I said, girl, after Bronwyn and her mother, girl, I couldn't even really get into Angie and Meredith. Not Angie, yeah, Angie and Meredith. So maybe next week I might care, but right now I don't give a damn. But that's what happened between Angie and Meredith. She bringing us some old shit that Lisa said. Meredith really could be a friend if we're gonna be honest, because she ain't doing shit. Girl, we 4 episodes in, and Meredith still ain't gave nothing. Hell, that would have did better making Muzzy Dusty a housewife. Anyways, I'm gone. Don't be in these toxic ass fucked up relationships just because of titles. Don't allow people to mistreat y'all. I don't go fuck if it is your mama or your daddy or your grandmother or your best friend, your husband, your wife. You're not gonna mistreat me. Like every time I come around you, I have to shrink myself. You make me feel horrible about myself. You make on a very just elementary type of, you make me sad. And your negativity weighs me down. I'm too sensitive for shit like that. I like to laugh and kiki and giggle and smile too much for me to be in a relationship like Braun is in a relationship with her mama. That shit will wear me down, and I don't have time for it. But that's her mama. You only get one mama. Well, bitch, you only get one daughter. Okay? And fuck around and find out to lose if you want to. Okay? Bitch. Anyways, I'm gone. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good night. Bye, y'all.